Hey, what's up, y'all? Books Nelson here, back with another video, and I wanted to talk about the pack odds. So normally, when we talk about the pack odds, it's obviously nobody's happy with them, um, but I wanted to talk about why the pack odds are so low. Now, the first instinct would be, well, the lower the pack odds are, the more people spend. And that's true, right? Obviously. However, there's a threshold to where if people pull packs and they don't get anything out of it, eventually they're going to stop spending, right? At least some people are going to stop spending. So obviously, so I'm looking at Decentric's stream here. Shout out to Decentric. Again, most of my team creators I'm very supportive of, pretty much everybody. And even pack pullers, I don't have anything against it. People enjoy that kind of content, but this isn't about whether it's right or wrong to pull packs. As many people that'll be very vocal in various comment section on Twitter about not pulling packs, I know realistically a significant portion of the community still at least pulls some packs. Now, are they spending money? Are they grinding for MT? Who knows? But they're pulling packs, right? But the pack odds are so low that this is the thing I wanted to address. First, let's talk about what the pack odds are. So there's 6% for a dark matter. The dark matters are pretty good and they're kind of expensive. So the chances of you getting a dark matter, it costs 200k MT for 10 packs. So that means for 30 packs, it's 600k MT. So theoretically, in that, because if it's 6% odds, that means for every 100 packs, I'm not trying to get too much into math, but long story short, for every 100 packs, you should pull on average 6 dark matters. Now, obviously, let's talk about pulling 100 packs. Okay, so pulling 100 packs is 200k MT times 10. Getting MT in this game is not that fast that you can pull 100 packs. But I'm not here to talk about whether that's fair or whatever. What I'm here to talk about is, first of all, what that means for the game. So the reason I have Decentric's pack opening here, so I look at a lot of content for this game, and the one thing that really strikes me is not just the pack odds about what people pull, but just how long it takes to get through a pack opening. With these odds, and the past few weeks, a lot of the pack openers have been getting killed by the pack odds, right? It almost doesn't even feel like 6% pack odds, even though I think it is 6% pack odds, but I mean, for a dark matter. But because you're probably going to get the dark matters at some point, not pretty much never seeing 100 overall, pretty much never seeing a GOAT card, it's like it feels really long. The pack odds, like it just, the pack openings feel like they take a really, really long time. And so as I watch it, I'm like, man, this isn't fun to watch anymore, right? Like I enjoy watching pack openings. I think a lot of people's pack opening content's really good. Henry's obviously fantastic. Troy Dan's entertaining, right? Even Decentric, like as a streamer, he's on for a long time, so he's not gonna go super duper crazy and have the special effects, but I think he still does a good job. But watching people pull amethyst and gold cards over and over and over again for like the better part, we see, I think this is his first dark matter, for the better part of like an hour of pack pulling. Like, just think about it. Do you really want to be sitting in front of a video game and pressing X over and over and over, or what's it on A on Xbox? Just be pressing that button, waiting for these animations over and over and over and over again. Like, it's just objectively not fun, right? I would almost rather the pack odds be higher and the packs be more expensive just because of sheer volume. Like, who wants to sit here and open even 100 packs? And by pack opening standards, 100 packs isn't crazy. By regular human being standards, I can tell you, I don't want to be sitting in front of my screen pressing the button for that long, just watching. Like, I don't play any video game like that, where I just sit in front of the screen and press the button. Now 2K knows this. 2K knows this, right? They know that there's a laborious nature to just pulling the packs. So why would they do it? Again, obvious answer, spend money, right? You see he's resetting. This doesn't do anything, by the way. This is just how pack odds work. It's completely random. So why would 2K do this beyond just getting you to spend money? I wanted to highlight this whole video is to highlight one particular point. I think a lot of what we're seeing in this game is because the entirety of the content team was shifted over to 2K25 as soon as they were done making the playoff content. And I don't have any inside info. This is just me guessing, right? I haven't spoken to anybody. I'm friends with a lot of next makers. I'm friends with devs. I haven't spoken to anybody about this. This is just pure speculation. But based on what I'm seeing in the game, when I look at the content, they basically stopped doing anything that required any kind of like creativity or building or whatever. I don't want to speak too specifically in dev terms because I'm not a dev and I don't want to say something completely wrong. But basically, they didn't have to build anything for the mode. There were no features added to the mode after the playoff stuff. And the playoff stuff was pretty minimal by my team's standards, really, right? Or really by video game standards. It was just, here's the playoff teams, unlock the cards. It wasn't like there was some new art and new graphics and, new interactions and some involved kind of ladder and what have you. There was nothing, there were like no real new assets in the game outside of the normal stuff that they put in the game for the new card art, that kind of thing. But it seems like since the playoff thing, that entire team was diverted and moved over to 2K25. And I would actually anticipate that most of the team was moved to 2K25. Because if you think about what we got in the beginning of the year, like gauntlets and that kind of stuff, we haven't gotten anything like that. And that stuff is pretty easy to throw in the game, right? Like even Pyramid of Power, no more Pyramid of Powers. Usually the stuff that we get in the beginning of the year will like repeat at some point. Spotlights, right? That kind of thing. No spotlights this year. No, they called them spotlights. Those are not spotlights. The spotlight challenges were awesome back in the day. Most people like them very, very much. And there was no reason not to have them this year from a creative standpoint. Now, if you're diverting all of your resources to 2K25, then there is a reason because it takes actual human beings to put that stuff in the game. And listen, if you're not a developer, you don't know how involved that stuff can be, even if it looks really simple on the surface. So I think the whole team was moved over to 2K25. So what does that have to do with pack odds? Because if the pack odds were higher, they would need more cards to be made, right? If the pack odds were higher, they would need more content because we would run through the content. See, what happens is the agendas and the earning of the MT to get into these packs and pull all of these packs has become the game. That's become the grind. Before, the grind would be also associated with other things. That grind wouldn't exist if you could just, and I'm just gonna throw a dollar amount out there. If you could just get $100, throw it at the packs and get all of the cards, like back in the day, and then whatever you didn't get, you could clean up on the auction house, then this grind right here wouldn't mean anything. You'd actually have to have a gameplay oriented grind. Yeah, something like Tim Duncan. Yes, but that's one card, right? The Clyde thing this weekend is awesome. Okay, that's 2 cards. But for the most part, it's just mode reward stuff, right? There's no like reason to play the game outside of getting the cards. And if that's the scenario, then necessarily the cards have to be really difficult to get. I've been thinking about this for a little bit, but this collection in particular struck me because this is like the lowest effort collection, I think, out of all of them because of so many duplicate cards, right? Cards that got no new animations, cards that got no, nothing special about them, mostly not changed releases. Yeah, there's a couple here and there, a base here and there, but these are duplicates of cards, some of which we have several of these cards, right? And recently, like for instance, Ben Simmons, identical card, and his Dark Matter wasn't even that long ago, right? It was a Bionic collection. It was just last season. It's still a playable card. In fact, they're still really the same card. If one person has the Ben Simmons and another person has the what do you call it? The new Ben Simmons, the 100 overall, and the other one has the other Dark Matter. There's no competitive advantage there. If they're both of equal skill, the difference between the two Ben Simmons cards to me will have a 0.0000001% impact on the outcome. The outcome will be entirely left up to skill, right? In my opinion. So I say all that to say these cards are not worth even what he's doing right here, right? Like where Decentric does. Obviously, Decentric pulls packs. He has one of the best teams in the game, right? He spends a bunch of money on the game. The streams gives him some of that, and obviously he makes money for it. Shout out to Decentric. He's over 51K subs right now. But as a guy who's doing that, these cards, I don't think any of them make his team, right? Except for literally maybe 100 overall and Goat Yao. Those are the only two cards that I think even should probably really play for Decentric's team. I haven't seen this team in a little bit, but again, every time I've looked at this team, it's been really good. So when you say that and you look at a Decentric and you say, okay, yes, pack openings make you money, but if you were just a player, not a streamer, right? And would you rather play the game and maybe grind your favorite mode? Or would you rather sit in front of the screen for an hour at an almost 0% chance of pulling a card that improves your collection? Of course you wouldn't, right? Of course you wouldn't. These cards are not good enough to match up with the pack odds. It would be different if they were like some crazy FOMO cards, which we experienced before. But now as we get to the end of the year, and basically you can have a full 99 overall lineup for free, right? It's much harder to make the cards worth it in and of themselves. So you would think logically, well, it's the end of the year, college football's out, the pack odds should go up, right? Because season 9, who's going to really even be playing this game? You know, we're going to be thinking about 2K25 for the most part. And college football is a monster. So a lot of people are playing that game, like a lot of people. So you would think, well, they have nothing to lose by raising the pack odds, even like some, right? Like even if the pack odds were 2% for a 100 overall or a GOAT card and 10% for a dark matter, those aren't even good pack odds, right? That's not, oh, I'm going to take $50 in open packs and get every card. No, that's just a decent chance of getting a card. Right now, we're experiencing a terrible chance of getting the cards. Why are we still in July? We're in late July now, right? We're officially almost in late July. The game comes out early September. There's barely more than a month left in the game, right? And we're still talking about these terrible pack odds, which are so bad that the very act of pulling the packs just takes forever, right? Now, we've been sitting here watching Decentric pull pack after pack after pack after pack, getting excited over dark matters he's not going to use. Again, no offense. He's a streamer. He's got to make good content, and I think he does a good job of that. This is not fun. Like, this takes the excitement of pulling packs. I think I can tell from my community, obviously everybody's an individual, but I think just generally, this process is not fun. Like, listen, he got enough to pull another $10 and change, right? Almost a $20 he can pull off of selling these cards. Okay, cool. So he can go back in. But think about that process. You go back in, you go back in. We've all seen these long Troy Dan videos. And speaking of long videos, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up soon. But I just wanted to have this conversation and really pick you guys' brains, right? This isn't like, oh, content, creator content. Like, I actually am curious what you guys think about this, because I've been trying to make sense of it, because the community's not enjoying this. And when I say the community, I mean, and this is why I have Decentric up here. Even the Decentrics of the world, right? Even the, and I'll shout out to Witness 2K, right? Even the Witness 2Ks of the world, like, honestly, look at his face while he's doing this. And I'm not dogging him. Again, I appreciate these content creators, but like, look at this process, right? Just like, I'm up here, I'm pulling packs, I'm not going to get anything. I'm pulling packs, there's no chance of getting anything. I'm spending all this currency, I'm spending all this money. And even for a content creator, listen, hundreds of dollars every week is going to add up, right? These guys pull sometimes 750 minimum VC, go higher and higher, up that numbers. And you see here, just look at, and again, this is not hate or shade in any way. Well, look at the vacant, beaten down look in his eyes. Like he's pulling these packs, right? Like Decentric has a good time with his community. And again, shout out to him. I think he does a really good job of that. But the actual pack pulling, the odds have to be higher for it to be fun and exciting. You need a better chance of getting the exciting cards for it to be fun and exciting, even for content creators and whales, right? Sitting in front of the screen, just mashing squares, spending millions of VC and millions of MT. And maybe you get one card. Even if you do get the card, that one moment is not worth an hour or 2 hours of pulling packs. Like, we want to play the video game, right? We want to play the game. We don't want to sit here and press X. And I'll say this last thing, and this isn't literally about pack odds, but this does contribute. So you guys know I play a lot of rec. My friends who play the rec, they all get the season pass. I think everybody pretty much gets the season pass. So when they don't play my team for months and they go into the mode to mess around, they have hundreds of packs waiting for them. Just the free stuff, right? Just the Ascensions, whatever, right? And they're like, oh man, I would love to go in here and play triple threat co-op, but how much are these gonna animate? Can I just push a button to like throw all this stuff in the bank or something so I can get to playing? This mode needs to cut out all of the bloated nonsense. And part of the bloated nonsense is just how many packs it mathematically takes to actually get one of these cards. I'm not talking about money, right? I'm talking about literally time. The time of, like, even if I had all the money in the world, right? Even if I was literally, LeBron James, I had $1 billion, and I was going to sit here and just push the X button until Goat Yao popped up. Statistically, at some point, I'd be like, guys, I got stuff to do. It wouldn't even be about money. Like, LeBron James wouldn't even feel that money. If LeBron James pulled every GOAT pack every week, every GOAT card every week, if he didn't stop until he got every GOAT card every week, he wouldn't even feel it. Decentric finally gets one of the 100 overalls. Let's see who he gets. He's standing up, he's walking around, but these 100 overalls stink if it's not Yao Ming, it's L. The rest of the cards don't play for his team. But the time factor, the odds are so low so that they have content in the game. But at the end of the day, I think it takes away from actually playing the game, and it takes away from, even for the people who are spending money on packs, I think it takes away from like the enthusiasm of pulling stuff like this. So, shout out to Decentric. I'm gonna hang out here and see what he pulls. Leave this up for a second just to support his stream and the content creators who are still supporting this game. And I say that because for the people who are here playing 2K, you guys really either love the game or are hopeless addicts, either hoop addicts or pack addicts or my team addicts. Maybe you're really competitive in the game. Maybe you're a collector and you're still trying to get that golden goose, white whale card that you can't find, or whatever it may be. Yeah, you're jumping around and running around for AK-47. He doesn't make your squad, right? So whatever it may be, you're still here. And I appreciate the content creators who could easily take a break right now. Like, yeah, is he getting more followers? Sure. But the next game comes out in just over a month. If he took a break right now and didn't do this, he would be fine when 2K launched. You pick up the game a week before 2K launches, you cover the news, and you'd be totally fine. Part of the reason he's doing this, and part of the reason all of the content creators are doing this, is because those of you who are at the end of the cycle, this dead part of the cycle, you're kind of in a foxhole together. And I'll leave with this note. While you're in the foxhole, the lizard people at 2K are still like, nah, negative 2% odds, which we know is really negative 1% odds, right? 0.000 chance to pull one of these cards that, in the case of this week, almost all of them don't make your squad. Thank God that wasn't an invincible, because those cards absolutely stink. All right, that's it, guys. I just want to have a conversation. This isn't our, the normal content here. Just have a little talk with y'all, little rant, which I guess is par for the course these days. But wanted to pick your brains and put forth that idea. The pack odds are so low to cover up the fact that there's no content in the game. That's my thesis. What's yours? I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, thanks for supporting the channel, and peace.